There's no one on. I just came on. I'm going to get started. Um,
We aren't in delay.
what's that?
We're in a delay here, I think.
We have some things to talk about. Some I think funny things. I think I think we're there. I really do. I think it's just a matter. They're just and I don't. When I say this, I really don't believe it's going to be too much longer until they say it. Hi, Curly. You're the first one on tonight, buddy. Welcome to the show. Janet, Curly beat you. You got to try harder on Monday night. But anyway, guys, what I'm getting ready to tell you is I'm going to go ahead and do the pledge and play the music and come back because I want to get into the show tonight. Come back and I'll talk about the kids real quick and I really want to get into the show. We got some interesting things to talk about. So hi everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here's how auto mechanics remove car scratches in just 90 seconds or less. This simple but brilliant.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota
to the hills of Tennessee,
across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Yes, yes, yes. God bless the USA. I am proud to be an American. And last night I was watching I want to call it a three-ring circus. I got on chat to talk with Marianne to get the play-by-play of Bruce, but she was watching the same three-ring circus with the two, good guy and I don't even know what to call the other guy. I really don't. It's just one of those things. It is what it is, but boy, when you read all day long about how other countries are laughing, how other countries are saying, this guy really thinks he is in charge. I mean, oh, it just, there's no words for what happened there last night. And I want to get into that because I don't really believe it happened last night. I know people's going to say you watched it. No, I know I did. I really don't believe it happened. I believe it's something like what happened once before in a different direction where, remember, we had a guy named Charlie Ward who said that he received 6 hours before they had it, the inauguration of Sleepy. He said he received the video of it 6 hours before. You know, and we all know that he's never really ever stepped foot in that beautiful house. And I think last night might have been that way. But I'm going to get into why I think it was. And you guys can give me your opinions if you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or if you think that maybe I'm onto something. But, you know, the one thing I will say today, and going to Messenger and going other places, you know, the one thing I noticed is people are more relaxed today. It's like last night was the shot in the arm we needed. And as you watch it, and as me and Marianne was chatting, and Ron was in the background chatting with me, and then as you're watching it, you couldn't help but laugh. I mean, we were putting up emojis about things, and we had a good time. But before I go any further, because I want to talk about the kids, and then I want to get into this stuff. Tim Paul has lost a loved one. So for the family of Tim Paul, I hope everybody takes the time to say a prayer for them. Tim is one of our Patriots, and, you know,
On signal all the time.
pardon me?
He's on signal all the time.
Ron says he's on signal pretty much all the time. And also let us not forget Patriot Dana 1111, who, you know, as I've told you, she has lost her eyesight. And, you know, there's just so many, you could go on in that, you know. And I do want to talk about a couple of people that I talked to about this three-ring circus last night. And, you know, I want to get through with the kids because I take pride in talking to the kids. I take pride in giving notice to the kids because you don't hear anybody else talking about the kids. You hear them talking about money. You hear them talking about things they don't have a clue of what they're talking about. And I'm not cutting anybody down. You hear them taking pride because someone thought enough of them to put their name in a song that they wrote. So what? So what? Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking for someone to pat you on the back and say, way to go? Or attaboy, you're so good that we're going to write a song about you. And then turn around in the next breath and cut another person down. You know, I'm tired of listening to people cry because they've been doing this for 6 months or a year. I've been doing this for 5 years. I'll join the club. We've been doing it for more than 3 times 5 years. And I haven't let it get me down. Have I had bad days? We've all had bad days. My goodness gracious, in that last 15 years or more, there's been 7 or 8 times I almost died. But you know why I didn't? Because I put my faith and I've ascended. And God wants me here because he's got me and Ron here for a purpose. And when we started this show on hoping we could touch someone. And someone I wanted to touch was my brother Ron. If I could just get through to him and make him see through things the way I seen it, I knew I was a success. And not only did I bring it there, but now Ron's teaching people. You know, I could brag and say, none of you here would have ever met if it wasn't for me and Ron. You should write a song about how great we are because we brought all of us together. Oh, come on.
About this song, Wolverine.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be teasing the man about the song, but it's just, why worry about anything now, guys? We are there. But let's talk about the kids. Jimmy, when I say we are there, that means that your mommy is just making a phone call when she gets a number, going in and setting appointments for you and her, and whoever else that she loves, she wants in there. That's where we're at. When I say we are there, Patriot 11, that means that when I'm not only looking for property, now I'm going to be able to start getting serious. And when I say I'm going to start getting serious, I'm going to read something or play something in a little bit, but I'm going to give you a little touch of it. Because there's a gentleman that wanted to buy, and I want you to listen to this, 11, and all the kids and everyone. I'm going to play this in a little bit, but there's a man that goes in to his bank. He's banked there for 40 years. He's always put his money in. He's always got along great with the bankers, and he loves the bank. He's taken out loans and he's paid loans back. He's taken out more loans and he's paid loans back. And he's very well regarded in his bank. But see, there's some property that he wants to buy. And you know, you'll hear what it's about when I talk about it later. But he wants to buy this property. And he said to the banker, the lead banker, I may need a short-term loan. And he explains why. Because there's this property. And he says, you know, I've been doing this foreign currency for a long, long time. He says, you know, I've been doing this currency for a long, long time. And as soon as it happens, I'll be able to pay it back. So I just need a short-term loan. And as they stood there and talked, the head of the bank looked at him and said, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you or need to help you on that short-term loan. And the man is saying in his mind, he's thinking, wow, what kind of gratitude is that? I've been loyal for 40 years and they won't even talk to me on a short-term loan. But he said the banker must have been reading his mind, what he was thinking. He said, because remember what you've told me. Remember what you said you have, that you're waiting for it to happen. He said, remember, this auction for this land that you want happens on the 7th. I think you'll have your money. From what I'm understanding, you'll have your money before that. Christmas in July. It took an extra year. Might have taken 2 extra years. Might have took 20 extra years. We've lost some people we shouldn't have. But we can't argue with God. We have to move forward. But Patriot 11, I wanted to let you know that story. Because that story was for you, but it's going to be for the whole group in a little bit. But if everybody is actually listening to me, which I never know if you guys are listening to me or not, you know, there's...
I think they would go back and watch the replay.
There's so much, yeah. Ron says he thinks you guys just talk here and then you go back and watch a replay. I don't care. Hit that like button twice or I'm not going to give... If you don't hit that like button twice, I'm not going to give you any more information. If you guys can tell, I'm in a pretty good mood tonight. Let's see where we at. Patriot Princess and Patriot, our little queen and Patriot Hunter. I get thinking about what I'm just talking about, how close we are. I get thinking how when all this happens, you know, one day we're just going to jump in cars. We're going to come visit Grandma. And we hope that you're there too. I want to see how, I'd like to see Patriot Princess play softball. I want to see how good she is. Because I'm a pretty good judgment of girls softball. Me and Ron played a big part in the girls in this area getting to where they're at because we didn't take the money where we could have got more money to umpire boys games. We took it and umpired girls games where we got $2 a game to say we was underpaid. We were supposed to get $5 a game. And when we were supposed to get that, we were going to donate it all back to the league, the girls' league.
Got $2 be my kind.
Well, Ron said I got the money. He forgets about, you know, everything I've done for him. And as soon as he remembers some of them, we'll let you know because I probably forgot too. Oh, definitely, Bill, definitely. You're right. He did. But you know, there was an idiot Democrat that stood up there and said that the hat, everything he said was a total lie. But I don't want to get off topic here. I want to talk to the kids because I love the kids.
And held a straight face.
I love the kids. So you kids, you just keep taking care of, you know, Grandma. And, you know, Jan, I want to tell you something. We got Miller Lite on sale here this weekend for $14.99 a case. Miller Lite. I figured I was going to have to go back to drinking like Black Label or Drummond Brothers or something, something like that. I mean, I looked the other day, and wow, what the cost of everything. And then I know I'll cover that when I get to the thing. Remember, I want to talk about, you know, the prices of everything when I get doing the show. But Patriot Boog and Boogaloo and Boogaroo. Now I don't know if you've seen, but the two youngest ones, Boogs, not Boogs, but the two youngest ones, Boogaloo and Boogaroo, they was watching the debate last night. And I seen little Boogs, Boogaloo, or one of them, they put up their thumb like, hey, Uncle Ralph, the hat won. The hat won. The other dumbass don't know what he's talking. And I shouldn't. Dumb butt. Since I said that, let me say now also that this video is not meant for children. They can watch it under the discretion and permission of an adult, whoever their parents or legal guardians or whatever. But also the music and videos that I play in this show is for entertainment purposes only. We have no legal right to it. But yeah, I messed up there saying that A word, but it should have been butt with a B. I told you, sometimes when I get in a good mood, the naughtiness comes out, you know. And if that's the worst thing I say all night, I'm going to consider this show a total 100% success. That being said, where we at? Patriot Wyatt Earp and Patriot Karate Kid. Last night I got to go Karate Kid. Last night I got to go watch my grandson break the board and do his test, and he got another mark on his belt. See, he doesn't do karate, he does martial arts. It's freaking karate. You can sugarcoat it. You know, I told my son the only reason the guy calls it martial arts is because two doors down there's a karate studio, and he don't want to think that he took after the other guy, so he calls it martial arts. And he even talks in Korean. And he has my grandson, Small Hank, talking in Korean. But, you know, I just wanted to let you know that he did his kicks and he did all this. My grandson did great last night. The only trouble he's a kid that has an attention span about the size of a ant. Huh? A pea brain, Ron says. He has no attention span. And when you're in karate or martial arts and that, one thing that they teach is you follow directions. Speak when you're spoken to. When your sensei says something, yes, sir. And he has a tendency to get up, and then he'll crack a joke. And he got points. He almost didn't graduate from the level he was at. He almost didn't because he has to learn. But see, I finally went and seen him last night. So whenever I see him in the house today, I kept saying, I'd say something, and I'd tell him how to respond to me. And I said, then that's how you need to start addressing your mom and dad. If your dad says something, yes, Dad. If your mom says something, yes, Mom. Well, maybe not so much your mom, because she don't always say things that are right. Just joking. Just joking, and I can't repeat that, Ron. Ron got over there with a wisecrack, and he's Mr. Funny Man tonight. But anyway, he did really good. Another little boy, 3 years old, doing this, and he couldn't break the board. So he got his graduation paper, but he don't get his thing for his belt until he breaks the board. And I'm thinking, break the board yourself, Sensei, and then hold it for him and act like he's doing it. He's 3 years old. He can't hit the board hard enough to break it. And I felt so sorry for him because he's got tears in his eyes. And I'm sorry, I can't handle 3-year-olds
Cut
crying
that boy to where,
because they was disappointed.
cut that boy to where if you just touch it,
So-
it's gonna break.
I mentioned Boogaloo, Boogaroo, Patriot, Little Leona, and Little Ilana. You know, I'm not been getting any new pictures. Last new picture I got of Leilana was she was at the cemetery with her mom and grandma and great grandma. They were there paying respect to her grandpa, great grandpa, who was a Vietnam veteran. And even though he might never have said it, he was proud to be an American. His cousin of mine and Ron's, but growing up, seemed more like a brother than a cousin in that. But I thought I was going to get to see one college girl 4th of July, but I was told today that my brother's not doing a big 4th of July today. Really good. We've been doing it for 30 years, and all of a sudden, 3 days or 4 days, 5 days, whatever it is, before the 4th of July now. And it really doesn't bother me because I'll just do it at my house. I got the pool. We can put the food. And if Jana wants to come over, we can have some beer. And guys, when I tease Jana, it's just an inside joke between me and her because we both like the taste of that stuff. And I just tease her. I don't think, last I talked to Jana, I don't think she's hardly drinking at all anymore. Can you believe I said that, Jano? And I'm not picking on you, sweetie. I'm just in a good mood tonight. But my grandkids, Patriot Kira and Patriot Small Hank, they left today. Then my daughter came over because yesterday was the 1-year anniversary. Guys, I'm going to say something. I really want you to listen to this. Can you believe it's been 1 year since mine and Ron's brother-in-law passed away? 1 year. Yesterday. And, you know, I have a funny story about that. You know, I never told it much before because a lot of people don't think when your brother-in-law passes away, there's funny stories. But when I get done with the kids, I'll tell you the funny story about my brother-in-law. When he passed, the night he passed away, the actual night, I mean, we're talking within an hour after he passed away. But Patriot Super Gymnast come over, and Patriot Little Monkey and Patriot 7, and they went over to my sister's first, and they came to my house long before my daughter did. And naturally, they got their popsicles, and they jumped on the trampoline, and we just had a good time. But Patriot Little Monkey, we were telling stories, and she says, "Well, Grandpa, do you remember at my old house?" They used to live in another house, and they've been in this new one a year. Now, she's only 4 years old. At my old house, when I was 6 years old, and you was 4, and me and you were sitting at the kitchen table, and I farted, and you said that was a good one. And I played along with her. I said, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Patriot Super Gymnast is sitting there going, wait a minute. Papa's not 4 years old. You're not 6 years old. And we thought we got her going. But then Patriot 7 come up. And man, he was literally shaking his head going, you guys are crazy. You two are crazy. Patriot 7, he goes, no wonder you two get along so good. You're exactly alike. Well, as I said, I made little Hank, small Hank's martial arts last night. Well, I also made Addison's t-ball game, and I told her I wasn't going to make it. And when I made it, when she came up to bat, because she was in the field when I got there, and when she come up to bat, my daughter was sitting there, and a niece of mine, a niece that she just loves to death, and Ella was there, and Patriot Super Gymnast, and they're all there, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and she's seen me, and she didn't even worry about listening to the batting order. Zoom, 4 years old, she runs over to me, and they all think they're running to her. My daughter's like this with her hands out. My niece is like this with her hands out. Super gymnast is like this. Come to Sissy, come to Sissy. No, this hug is for my grandpa, and she gave me the biggest hug. The people around, they're going, man, you got to feel like $1 million, don't you? My daughter says, that's every time he sees her. Every time. We have a close relationship. And that pretty much covers the kids tonight. You know, it pretty much covers them, but there was something I did want to talk about, and I don't remember what it was, but I want to get into last night. You know, Patriot Diane with 2 N's, she had posted, and I had seen it 3 other places, that the place that covered last night, they said they was going to try to have like a 2-minute holdback where, you know, the questions was asked 2 minutes before, but they weren't given, you know, the answers weren't coming out. So if you know, the hat said something, or if you know, Sleepy said something, they could either take it out or do something to alter it. And I think what it was really for, because whenever they asked a question, normally it took about 2 minutes, and as me and Marianne was discussing, and the people that they had in his ear telling him what to say and what to do to figure out what the question was and what he was supposed to say and what he was supposed to do. But I thought one of the funniest parts came when they asked him a question and he's answering it. And as he's getting ready to finish it, I mean, he sounded like Mumbles McCoy. So they go straight to the president, the real president, Mr. Hat, and they say, Mr. Hat, could you give us your opinion on his answer? And he goes, is there someone that could tell me what he just said? I don't even think he can tell me what he just said. But you know what I wanted to talk about too is afterwards on CNN, there was a Republican, and there's other people talk first, and I'm on there chatting, you know, back and forth to Marianne, and she's watching all of this on computer, and I'm watching it on TV with Ron. So we're getting different coverages, and she's telling me what they're saying on the computer, and I'm telling her what they're saying on the, and then all of a sudden this guy comes on, and they ask, well, what did you think? And he said, well, definitely the hat won. Sleepy, he really struggled in a lot of areas, and sometimes you couldn't even understand his answers, and which was brought to light by the president, you know, showing, you know, I didn't understand what he said, and I don't even think he did, and you know, it become very comical. And first 2 people, definitely the hat won. And then this guy sits up there, and as Ron says to me, he said it like 3 or 4 times, this guy was good because he said everything he said with a straight face. He actually believed what he said, and he said everything the hat said was a lie, a 100% lie. Well, I know it wasn't, because I know he had the border built and another idiot took it down. Now, what I'm hearing in feedback from backers of Sleepy is about the border. They're upset because that's one of the first things that Hat wants to make happen when he's reinstated, is to get the borders back. And I had a guy tell me, that's just a waste of our tax dollars. I said, my goodness gracious. Everything that this idiot has put us through for almost 4 years, and now you're worrying about your tax dollars? When this man sat there and without batting an eye, he stood there and he literally said, the economy is in the greatest place it's ever been in the United States. And this man, this Democrat that's now saying that the hat, everything he said was a lie, this man is agreeing with him. Am I not living in the United States of America? Am I going to the wrong stores? I mean, I talked to someone, I believe might have been Mary Ann, how when she goes shopping now, you don't go to one store and get everything. It's not a one-stop shop. You got to go to one store, get 2 or 3 things, and if you need something else, go somewhere else and get 2 or 3 things. You know, you might end up going to 5 or 6 things. And see, that's how I was raised anyway, because that was my mom's philosophy. My mom, when I got my driver's license in the car, when I was driving her around to get groceries on Saturday, we could go to one store, and then we'd come out, and she'd say, I need to go over to Kroger's, which was 3 miles away, all the way through 2 towns. And I'm not talking little towns, I'm talking cities, 25, 30,000 people each. And we have to go all the way over there because there was 2 products over there that she could save a nickel or a dime on. I said, I'll give you the nickel or dime to go in here. No, you know we can't do that. Money is precious. My mom, when she wasn't putting gas in the car, and I didn't care because you know what it was? It prolonged my day being with my mom, and it gave me more time to spend with her. Now, when I was single, I spent the whole day with her. But when I got married, you know, the longer I could spend, the better I liked it. Because, you know, when you're married, once you get done shopping, once you come home, you help her get the groceries in, put away. You visit for a few minutes, but you got to go home because the wife is home, or the kids may be at home. But then the kids started going shopping, and the wife started doing whatever, who knows what. So I started having fun again. But it is true. Our economy, it's totally stinks. And then other things that was asked, you know, there is no such thing as his son having a laptop. There's no such thing. His son has never done anything wrong. Then why was he just found guilty the other day? His son has never taken money from every country. Then why does the paper trails lead right back to China and the Ukraine? The man's never had an honest job in his life, but he's a multimillionaire. Then again, you stop and think. The man who's been a lifelong politician, who until he became vice president and never made over $80,000 a year, now has a value of over $40 million. Woo. Ouch. Where'd that come? Where'd that come from? But I did love last night when the hat said something about treason, and he hit it right on the head. And I'm not going to keep going into last night because I have too much fun. As I sat and watched it, I enjoyed it. It got a little bit too long and I was ready for it to end. But it just, I don't know. I'm at lost at words of what I can really say. And as I said, me and Mary Ann, we talked about it. It got over, and then, as the song said, she went her way and I went mine. And I do want to give a prayer request also for Linda's husband. He's having a little bit of trouble, so if you guys can keep Bob in your prayers, I'd really appreciate it. He's a really nice guy. I mean, he's got to be to put up with Linda. Oh, that's going to get me a letter. But no, guys, when I got done watching last night, I sat there and I was very happy because I knew that this was all staged. I'm not even 100% sure, and this is the point I really wanted to make. I'm not even 100% sure it was live. It could have been Memorex last night. But you know what's funny? Because think of the one thing that the hat always talks about. Whenever he speaks, whenever he speaks, he talks about mainstream media news. Now, I want to go there on mainstream media news real quickly. And yes, I did this, and I have no idea what it means. I've just been told I'm not supposed to do it, but it's a habit I have, and it has nothing to do with what it actually means. Neither does scratching my ear. I'm not giving someone the steal sign when I scratch my ear or I touch my nose. But I talked to a gentleman this morning to say, I've known this person a long, long time. And they told me, we're messed up. And I said, what do you mean? Nope, you're not button. and I says, what do you mean we're messed up? He said, neither one of us is going to help us. One's got these problems, and one's got these problems, and one's got this problem, and one's got this problem. And I stood there just, yeah. So what's the issues? He says, we're messed up. How are we ever going to get better? But see, he made a mistake before he said we were messed up. He says to me, he says, there's 300 million Americans. And this is the best we could do. These two is the best we could do with 300 million Americans? And I looked and I said, yeah. He said, how? I said, because listen to yourself. Wow, she stuck that. We got gymnastics for the Olympic trials on. So I was watching. I got my granddaughters watching it at their house. I hope they got to see that. Yes, I mean, these girls are amazing. If we don't win gold, I'll tell you right now, it's just like the 2020 election if we don't win gold. I will say that with all conviction. But anyway, I said, you just said it. We have 300 million Americans. And we let these two in there. And he goes, yes. And I said, let's say we have 299,299,299. Because right there, standing in front of me, I'm talking to one. And what have you done over 4 years to try to change anything? What have you done? Have you done anything? Every time I try to tell you something, it's like Dan Ryan Expressway. It goes in one ear and right out the other. Whoop! Warp speed. I says, 300 million people and we're letting two people dictate our lives? That has nothing to do with them two people. That has nothing to do with Congress. That has nothing to do with governors and whatever. That has nothing to do with them people. There's not enough of them. If there's 300 million people in the United States, if there's billions of people around the world, why is the world all listening to a few thousand people? Why are we all taken? We know they're wrong. You know, when you become in politics, when you become a governor, when you become a senator, when you become a mayor, anything you become, it is not a lifelong job. It is not a factory job where you got to work 40 years and hope you stay alive so you can draw a pension. It is not meant to give you a pension. It's meant to give you 4, maybe 6, maybe 8 years, and then you get out and you work like we do. But no, we allowed them to make it a lifelong thing so they can print their own money, they can do this, they can do that, and they can laugh at us. And they can have everything and we have nothing. And you guys know I'm right. So, another guy, bedridden. I'm walking by his house coming to Ron's today. The girl that takes care of him said, hey, Ed would like to see you for a little bit. I said, okay. So I went in to see him. And when I went in to see him, I said, "What's up?" And he's telling me how bad he's got. Now, this man has not walked by himself for probably 5 years. He probably weighs 450 to 500 pounds. The girl that takes care of him has got to be an angel sent from above, because how she can change his depends. And this has been a guy that's been friends of me and Ron. I mean, he was 1 year behind me in school. He was 1 year behind me in school, and wow. I don't, guys, I'm in shock. I am in total shock right now. I just watched the greatest gymnast that's ever been on the balance beam, and she literally stunk. Oh my goodness. Oh well, it happens to the best, right? Maybe I was seeing a replay of another. It might have been a replay of some other time, because now she's up ready to go do her floor exercise, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the show. Excuse me. See, I prove I'm proud to be an American, because when they're getting ready to do the Olympic stuff, I am all in for that. Anyway, this guy's telling me how his insides are going, and he might have 1, he might have 2 years. He might have 1, he might have 2 hours. And you want to feel sorry for him. But he let himself get that way because he did not want to work. So he wanted to start drawing Social Security disability when he was like 42, 43 years old. So he let himself get to 700 pounds. So he didn't have to work. Can't do nothing, but don't have to work. And it's a shame, because he's a nice guy. So I'm trying to tell him about these BEDSs. And he says, "I hope you're right." And I said, "Well, more than I hope I'm right, I hope I'm right enough that they get here before to help you. Because I'd like to see what you would do if you really had." You're laying here talking about, if I could do it all over. That's the easiest thing to say, if I could do it all over. The hardest thing to do is to do it when the time is right. So he got going to me on telling me what's going on in the world. You know why he's telling me? Because he watches all of these off-channel, these computer channel newscasts. News from mainstream media. He watches all these channels. And he said, "Well, I seen on CNN where they said," oh. He said, "I seen on this channel where they said," and he's telling me this, and I'm thinking, it's like, oh, I'm trying to be nice to the guy, be respectful, but, oh, is he off base? But I was very nice. Man's going through a lot. He don't need me. I told him, I said, Ed, I'll keep you informed on what's going on. He goes, "Well, I don't even know if they give me a ballot if I'd vote for the presidency this year." And I said, "Well, is the presidency voting going to be this year like it was last time?" He goes, "Well, yeah, they're going to send you ballots." I said, "I didn't ask that question." He said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "So in other words, what I'm saying is you don't have to worry about it." If it's going to be like it was last time, your vote don't matter. You might vote 100 times. And not know about it. You might have been the one personally, the one that got sleepy in there. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. I think you guys are tired of listening to me. Let's see what we have here. I got some stuff off Telegram today, and it's not real big readings, but there's some. It's pretty good. Some of them might interject. We'll see. Oh, I did like this. This is RVGCR. Did Judy notes from the information contained in this document is assumed that matters related to the global currency reset and the change of the restored republics of the world are intimate. The military was working at a world court for the legislates to be finalized according to the common law among nations. President the Hat will be back soon. Within 12 hours of his announcement, our world will begin to change. Everything has been completed for the Big N and Big G payments, including announcements of the Big G through certain means making it legal. All debts of various nations, including the United States, have been settled using the Big G funds collected by the cabal. Big G has begun paying in several countries with payments scheduled to U.S. citizens. Payments for the global currency reset have been authorized, scheduled, and reported. At this time, some Tier 3 ZIM holders were said to be in Reno meeting with their wealth managers and proceeding with the redemption process. The Pentecostal, or whatever that word is, Pentecostal group has already started paying its one group. Thursday, on June 27th, the new Iraq dinar exchange rate became available to citizens of Iraq through their debit cards and ATMs. Now, I did want to say that's one thing Bruce mentioned, that he had talked to somebody that said they at the ATM was able to get the currency, the new currency, out in small denominations and pay for their airfare right there using their card at the ATM. As Bruce said, he did not know that you was able to do airfare like that. So is that something new that we're getting? Are we starting to see rollout? So I just wanted to share that. Iraq has scheduled an announcement of its new dinar exchange rate by publishing it in a Gazette Saturday, June 29th, with a celebration scheduled Sunday, June 30th. Bruce is also saying he thought, because I'm gonna implement these too. He thought that was one of the things that Iraq, the dinar is keeping going up. Remember, if you're a United States citizen and you have Iraqi dinar, when you go in, you ask for the best rate. They're supposed to give it to us anyway. But see, here's why I tell people to ask for the contract rate. I tell them, ask for it, because if you ask for it, they're going to think, oh, I'm not messing with a rookie here. I know somebody here in front of me now that they know what they're talking about, so we're going to be right there for them. So you want to do that, but just think about it. Now you're going to be able to book airline, and you're going to do this. You know, world is changing, guys. They are, Bruce and everybody's talking about this huge celebration. And then what I'm hearing also from a lot of people, a lot. Now they say there's not a lot of information out there. That's what Bruce said last night. That's what other people are saying, this and this and this. To me, I thought since that debate last night, the information that has flowed through to us, if you just open your eyes, if you see what's there, the information, I thought there's been more information coming out than I've seen in probably a month. Now, also, as Bruce is talking, Bruce was very disappointed and upset that some of this information that he has been given has not been true. As he said, when I come to you, you guys are loyal, you're followers, you love me, I love you. I don't want to come here and just give you crap. I want the information I give you to be real. And it hasn't been. And that upsets me. So, unless he's a good actor, I'm pretty sure Bruce is one of the real good guys. So anyway, Iraq has scheduled an announcement of its dinar exchange by publishing in the Gazette. I read that. Tier 4B is expected to begin exchanges in China very soon, with the process going through Asia, Europe, and the United States. Now, last night, it was also spoken. Sleepy, What are you doing with China? They're going to own us, guys. False flag. We don't owe. We're good. We're good. So if someone got upset, because when he first said it, I'm thinking, oh, that is going to, you know, you got to really know what you was looking for last night, or you could get blown away with that. Anyway, the Pentecostal group will begin paying its groups on Group 2 on Thursday, July 4th, the same day the United States will celebrate Independence Day, and important announcements are expected. Here's something that's right behind this that I wanted to read. The hat will be back overnight. That was number 38. Number 39 is everything is intimate. Everything changes within 12 hours after the announcement worldwide by the hat. Now, I heard he was supposed to be speaking today in Virginia. I never did hear what time. And I've heard reports that when he speaks in Virginia, that within 12 hours, he would be anointed, you know what. Now, this is something I just have to mention because this woman, she does so much for me. I don't think I've ever seen a woman that is so full of energy. And if you guys haven't guessed by now, it's Savior. But on here, she's going by Margot. And she posted on Patriots 5 Forever, and me and her had a little joke about it. She goes, I just had a light bulb moment. If the election is, you know what, bad, whatever, however, and people are concerned that, you know, that VP is taking over, no, she can't, because it's a election, you know. She doesn't either exist. Bingo. Do. So I start teasing her. I said, oh, the light bulb went on. And she comes back to me and says something like, you know, when you're my age and you're doing so much, the light bulb, you're bound to have trouble with your electric units or something. I don't remember exactly what she said, but alert, Fox News about the hat is saying yes. Yeah, he had a rally in Virginia today. The man is the machine. If you haven't been on Patriots 5 Forever site on Telegram, go and just look at that video. And it's the video itself is the hat, cars lining up to see him. And I mean, they in the video, they just keep scrolling back with a camera, and it just keeps going back and back. And I have no idea how many miles. So all of them cars and, you know, 2, 3, 4 people in a car, vans, trucks, you know. And then I have people say, no one likes him in the United States. Yeah. Here's something that says Supreme Court overturned Chevron versus natural resources. Now, if that's what I think it means, that means them hundreds and hundreds of people on the 6th that was arrested. It's been overturned, so they're not. And one of them just happened to be the hat. I did see a video on that explaining it, and I think that's what it is, but if I'm wrong, I do apologize. So let's go back and see what else we have. Where are we at? Oh, guys, I want to play you this. If you're talking, this is Melanie, and it says if you're not she's not your cup of tea. I like the girl. I want you to listen what she says here. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get up, stretch my legs, maybe get a little sip of water. It's only a couple minutes long, so just listen to what she's got to say.
Dee, I hope I can find it. I hope you're okay. Intel from Banker. Yes. Here it is. Here's a bank story from one of my people. courtesy of JD. We'll just say that. Just want to tell you a little information he was given by his banker. He went to discuss some financial options he's considering. He said, as I'm looking at purchasing some pasture ground coming up in an auction that probably will occur, this event happens for all of us. Now, understand, my banker knows I've been into the foreign currency for a while and have been waiting. So I'm telling her what I'm looking to do, and she stops me. She looks at me directly in the eyes and says, I don't believe you will need my help with your purchase. So now I'm completely confused and a little pissed off, thinking, really? I can't believe after banking here for over 40 years, they won't work with me on this short-term deal. She must have read my mind, because immediately she said, what you have been waiting on is going to be done before that auction. Yes. So look, if you want to, please share this around. People need the hope these days, because things are getting tight out there, guys. I know that. It's tight here. I'm married to a firefighter. You think it's not tight here? It's tight here. And I'm not at 100,000 subscribers yet, right? Other people are, but I'm not. I'm one of the slower, God takes a while to, everything I do, I want fast, right? It's a flesh burner that it takes me a while. So please help me. Just share the content. Okay, I can't talk to you right now, Belinda. I'm doing this because before I go live. So I'm getting hot because this is really good. So hold on. So she looked him direct in the eyes. Sorry. She must have been reading my mind, because she said, what you've been waiting on is going to be done before that auction. Now, at this point, I'm speechless. He locked eyes with her and said, are you telling me that I won't be waiting on what I have held since 2013? Are you really saying that after serving over there and being in the sandbox, they are finally paying me back for the years I spent over there? She smiled and said, absolutely, and your auction isn't till July 7th. This will be done by then. Is there anything else I can help you with today? I almost cried out loud. Thank you.
So I wanted you to hear that. I've already talked about that, but I wanted you to hear that because that lady is a ball of fire. And I mean, I've only followed her in a few things. I think she's good. This is something that Diane sent. It's from Wolverine, forwarded from Wolverine. And then there's another small one I'll read from TNT Tony. I want you all to get ready, as The Rock is going to have a massive celebration this Sunday. The RV is nearly here, and it's going to be very emotional for all of us. I've been told that all funds have been deposited to start payments. The Big N, Big G. I'm also hearing good news coming from Reno as well. I'm also hearing that Sleepy will quit after the debacle of the debate, as it was the most embarrassing performance by any USA, what his title is, in the history of the USA. People overseas are roasting the debate and making a mockery of it. It's a complete laughingstock. The hat will be placed as a legitimate, of the USA this coming Monday, according to a lot of intel. I pray this is true. Get ready, everyone. At last, the RV is here. TNT Tony, call. Iraq is ready to party on Sunday. The lower denomination dinars are in the ATM banks, ATMs. Banks have been notified that the dinar is exchangeable once they get the go, which they are expecting between this and evening on Sunday morning. Now, in Bruce last night, Bruce talked about the dinar. Bruce knows what the rate is, but he's been told not to tell it. He said it's a very high rate, and as he said, as a matter of fact, since Tuesday night, the rate has went up another $1. Wow, that stuff that I just looked and found. Supreme Court poised to issue major rulings on presidential immunity January 6th. Wow. Having trouble getting this one to come up. Oh, this is one I wanted to really. You guys, a lot of you look at the U.S. debt clock. You talk about it a lot. And on Castle Rock, the Telegram site, CASTLEROCK, on that they have it. And they've got a picture of the rate, silver to the US dollar, $231 per ounce. $231 per ounce. Then at the bottom, it shows another picture of what it is now. The same day, early morning compared to later afternoon. And it says, OMG, it jumped to $231, adding over 20 billion to M2 money supply. Can't stop, won't wait. But see, one thing I don't understand about this, because then at the bottom, it has a red circle. And it says the same thing, silver ratio now. Paper to silver ratio now. 400.84 to 1. But the whole thing is, silver is going up. People keep saying, Patriot 5, Ralph, Ron, if you got any money, put it in gold, put it in silver. I would love to,
If I had any,
but I don't have the money. So I put it into paper. You know, dinars, dongs, zim. And I think I'm going to be pretty happy there too. But you know, for everybody that you got money, and I will say this because I can promise you this, I am not a financial advisor. You know, if I was, I sure the heck wouldn't be as broke as I am. So let's go back and see what Judy's got to say. I didn't realize I'd been on this long, guys. Judy's reading. It shouldn't take too long. There's some good stuff in it, but I've covered about 2/3 of it already. You know, I read the big thing. Judy Bidington, 20. Can you guys believe tomorrow's the 29th? Tomorrow we're celebrating, even though Addison's birthday was on the 5th, we're celebrating with a party for her tomorrow. She wanted a pool party, so we waited. We waited for it to get warm. And today it's like 65 degrees here in Illinois and raining, you know, but this is from Judy Bidington. The military is waiting on the World Court for legalities according to common law to be finalized between nations. Everything has been completed. All debts of various nations, including the U.S., have been settled by using the Big G. Funds collected by the cabal. The Big G has begun paying out in several countries with its payouts to citizens scheduled. Word has it right now, some Tier 3 Zim holders were in Reno on Thursday, 27 June. The new Iraq dinar was available. And pretty much everything that they've got here I've already read. Global currency reset. Here's global currency reset. All of it, all the information is coming from Iraq. Today, one of my sources was at Iraq airport. I told you this story about it. Was at the airport in Baghdad where he was able to use his debit card to get the new currency plus book his ticket. Tier 4B notifications could come out the last 3 days of the month, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I have mixed emotions on that, whether it's going to come out then or if they're going to wait until the first, when that's when we're hearing the hat will be reinstated and that, because I don't know if they want to come out with them until the timing is absolutely right. So we'll have to wait and see. Mark Z says the rack rate was not in the Wednesday Gazette. It's going to be in tomorrow's, and they have promised that that would be. I'm starting to get a little tired of their promises because they never come true. And like I said, that's pretty much it with Judy. I was able to read Judy early, and I was using most of her stuff that she had in with the show. That's why, even though it looked like the show was going to go on and on and on, because if I was to read everything Judy's got here, we'd be here another 10 or 15 minutes. And I know you guys enjoy talking to one another, but I'm getting very hungry, so I think I'm going to call it a week. Maybe a week. We don't know. We could be back tonight, tomorrow. You know, just watch. I will post in the places I can post if I'm going to come on with an emergency. Bruce did say that if he's on Tuesday, and he really doesn't want to be on Tuesday, if he is, then they'll cover what they need to cover. So that being said, guys, have a great weekend. Keep the kids and everybody in your prayers. You know, people I mentioned tonight, keep everyone in your prayers. Keep the whole family in your prayer, and just have a great weekend. Remember, a lot of people are going to start considering this weekend to actually start the 4th of July weekend. So if you're out driving, be very cautious. Don't be on your phone. You know what? There's nothing on your phone that is that important that it can't wait. If you have to be on it, pull off on a side road. Just get away. You know, pull off the road and talk and do what you got to do. It's not worth. We've come too far. We're too close to do something silly with our cell phones. And that being said, dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, we want to thank you for all the great children we have, all the great children and everything that's being done all around the world to rescue all these children, Lord. And we will not rest until 100% of the children is safe, sound, happy, and loved. Lord, we also want to ask for prayers for the people in our group that have lost loved ones or are struggling maybe with health or just other issues. The family of these people as they struggle. You know, still today I was chatting briefly with my friend from high school, and I try to send her little cute things every day to get her to laugh. And she told me, she says, wow, I didn't realize I had such an amazing friend. And, you know, Lord, you're the one that made me that way. And I give you all the credit, and everything that we do through you. I will work hard to keep the people's vibrations up. You work hard in your end, and we'll all come to a great conclusion as we pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend.